Can you imagine a father throwing his own little daughter into a well as a sacrifice? Can you fathom a young girl surviving for 40 days in complete darkness, surrounded by snakes and scorpions, only to emerge alive? This isn't a myth or a horror movie plot. This is the true chilling story from Sudan in 2010, which became known as the al-Shuail case, one of the most terrifying and mysterious events in modern history. Stay with me to find out how this nightmare began and how it tragically ended. Our story starts during the Eid al-Fitr festival in a small Sudanese village in the west of the country. A shepherd was grazing his flock near an old, abandoned well, a place locals whispered was haunted by spirits and demons. As he got closer, he heard something faint, a cry, a whimper coming from deep within the earth. He cautiously approached the edge and called out, his voice trembling, "Are you human or jinn?" After a moment of silence, a weak voice replied, "I'm Raya." Terrified, the shepherd scrambled away, running back to the village as fast as his legs could carry him, shouting, "There's a girl screaming inside the haunted well." So who was Raya? She was just a 14-year-old girl, living with her father, a man notorious in the village for his cruelty and his rumored involvement in witchcraft. The chain of events leading to this horror began innocently enough. One day, while tending to the family's flock, Raya lost 4 of their sheep. She was terrified to go home and face her father's wrath. When she finally mustered the courage to confess what happened, her father's reaction was colder than stone. He gave her 2 cruel choices: face his immediate punishment or be taken to a deserted place and left to her fate. He told her she would be a sacrifice to the spirits, a dark offering to restore his luck and livelihood. Without a shred of mercy or pity, he grabbed his daughter and dragged her to the one place everyone feared, the haunted well. And then he threw her in. But fate, or perhaps a miracle, intervened. As Raya fell into the blackness, her hand caught a large tree branch growing out from the side of the well. She clung to it for dear life, suspended in the darkness, safe from the initial fall. But her ordeal had just begun. Below her was a terrifying world of snakes, bats, and scorpions. If it wasn't for that single branch, her story would have ended right there. If you're still watching, support me with a like, comment, and subscribe. Now back to our chilling story. Days turned into weeks. The young girl remained trapped, clinging to that branch in the suffocating darkness. One afternoon, a group of children playing near the well heard her faint screams. They ran back and told their parents, but the adults, steeped in local superstition, dismissed it as the tricks of the jinn living in the well and forbade them from going near it again. Raya's cries went unanswered. Finally, after 40 long days, another shepherd, a young boy, was watering his flock nearby when he too heard a voice from the well. He cautiously called out, just as the first shepherd had, "Are you human or jinn?" The response came, weak but clear, "I am Raya." This time the boy didn't hesitate. He ran to the village and rallied the people. They gathered at the well, and this time they all heard the girl's voice. They knew they had to act. A brave man named Abdul Khair volunteered to be lowered down. The villagers tied their long turbans together, creating a makeshift rope, and carefully lowered him into the darkness. What he found was a scene from a nightmare. Raya was there, her face caked with mud, her body emaciated. Scorpions and snakes crawled around her. Her long hair had become tangled and stuck to the rough wall of the well. Abdul Khair had to use his knife to cut her braids free. He then tied a rope around her fragile body, and the villagers hoisted her up into the sunlight. The girl who emerged looked like a ghost. She was so thin she was almost translucent. They rushed her to the nearest hospital, where doctors were shocked to find live scorpions still tangled in her hair. When the police arrived, her father played the part of a concerned parent, feigning ignorance and claiming she must have fallen by accident. But when the police questioned Raya, she looked at them with hollow eyes and said, "My father threw me in." The police arrested him, but he continued to deny everything. Raya's family members, however, confirmed his obsession with witchcraft and their belief that he had offered his own daughter as a sacrifice. The police asked Raya a difficult question. "Do you want your father to be punished?" Her answer was heartbreaking. She said, "No, I just want him to come back to his senses so we can live together." Because of the well's sinister reputation, the locals gave Raya a nickname, al-Shuwail, which ironically translates to Mother of the Evildoer. This brings us to the most mind-boggling question of all. How did a 14-year-old girl survive for 40 days in a well without food or clean water? The answer is as miraculous as it is mysterious. Imagine being in total darkness, surrounded by creatures that could kill you at any moment. Raya later recounted that she survived by eating leaves from the tree branch she clung to and by drinking the stagnant, murky water at the bottom of the well. Every day she screamed and cried, hoping someone would hear her. But she also described something else, something that defies logical explanation. Raya said that every day a strange visitor would appear to her in the darkness. She described him as a radiant figure, with pale skin and wearing all white. This person would give her milk mixed with a little salt and water. He only ever spoke to her once, on the final day. He told her, "This is your last day in this well." Was this a hallucination brought on by starvation? Was it a spirit, a benevolent jinn, or as some believe, an angel sent by God? We will never know for sure. But whatever the truth, it was a miracle that she was found. Sadly, Raya's story doesn't have a happy ending. 4 years after her rescue, she married her cousin and changed her name to Amina, trying to leave the trauma behind. But the physical and psychological scars ran too deep. In 2015, she suffered a severe seizure and passed away. The story of Raya, al-Shuwail, is a harrowing testament to the depths of human cruelty, but also to the incredible power of the will to survive. She became a symbol of endurance and courage in the face of unimaginable horror. May she rest in peace. Thank you for watching this incredible story. If you found this as moving as I did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more true stories you won't forget. See you next time.